All right, hey everybody, we're back doing another video series with someone new that you're going to get to know, John Jennings. So John, thank you for coming and doing a video series with us.
Awesome, looking forward to it.
Yeah, so we're going to do just like the last one we did with Jill. It's going to be 3 parts. So the first one we're going to talk about his upbringing, his family, and his dad in particular, the military service and all that. So we're going to touch on that in detail on this video. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about his corporate experience and how he built a successful career and got advanced and all those good things while he was in corporate America.
Yep.
And in the third video, we're going to talk about entrepreneurship and building businesses and all that. So let's get into it, John. So talk to us a little bit about your family when you were growing up.
Yeah, so one of those things a lot of people don't know about me, I'm sort of an Army brat in a way. I was actually born in France. My dad, though, even though he was Army, he was stationed on the Air Force Base. So that always confused people. I'm an Army kid, but born on an Air Force Base. And I was actually one of the last American GI kids born in France. If you know history,
Really?
France kicked us out in a certain year in the 60s. Not going to give my age out, but you can do the research. And I was born in August of that year, and we left in Thanksgiving, around Thanksgiving. So I was one of the last GI kids born there. So that's a little trivia about me.
Cool. So
we moved back to Kentucky.
Moved back to Kentucky.
And my dad finished out his active duty the next year, went into the reserves, stayed in until he retired as a full colonel about 20 years ago. And also he went to work for him as a civilian. So he did the day job during the week as a civilian and then worked for him as a reservist on the weekends. Grew up our summer vacations was wherever he had his military active duty for the summer. So we had summers in El Paso, Texas, Fort Polk, Louisiana, other great, beautiful hot spots around the country. Army bases are not in beautiful places.
They're not?
No.
Ideal places to have a lot of land at not an expensive cost.
Right.
Yeah. El Paso vacationing doesn't sound like super fantastic.
Kind of warm.
Yeah. So you did a lot of traveling. Sounds like you guys moved.
No, not really. We were in Kentucky my whole life. We were in Western Kentucky, down in Murray originally, and then moved up here to Louisville area. I went to Shelby County High School, grew up out there in the country, and then lived in Louisville all my adult life.
Yeah. So growing up as a military kid, what did you kind of glean from that formationally about yourself? Like, what do you see today in your life and what you've given your kids that you maybe took away from that upbringing? Yeah,
well, there's certainly a sense of patriotism and loyalty that I saw with my dad. He never changed jobs. He stayed with the military service throughout his adult life, and I saw that dedication. Because we went to his active duty, and because I hung out at his office from time to time, I got to know the people he worked with, and that sense of loyalty. And then the military teaches you accountability, and one thing my dad always held us to was being very accountable for everything we did. He taught me a lot about leadership. He was also my scoutmaster as a Boy Scout, so he had a lot of influence on me in a number of ways along those paths as far as leadership and development.
Yeah, so a lot of discipline, I'm assuming, accountability.
Yeah.
I mean, accountability is good. That translates all periods of time.
Absolutely.
Right? And I know people like to make fun of the millennials about we don't like accountability and all that, but it's still important for us too. Yeah. But accountability translates across the board.
Absolutely.
In business and personal life.
It's probably one of the major topics I have to deal with my clients today.
Yeah.
Is accountability.
So let's unpack loyalty a little bit, because I think that would be interesting. Today, how do you see loyalty like manifesting itself in your personal life or in your work life?
Well, I think my generation, since you picked on generations, tends to not job hop. We tended, every job I went into, I felt like it was going to be the last job I ever took.
Okay.
And I think that's a different mindset today. And it's hard for a lot of business owners that I work with that may be closer to my age. They're hiring millennials and now Gen Zers that aren't looking at it as a lifetime job. They're looking at it as something until the next thing. And so you have to recruit different. You have to lead and encourage and motivate your team different. It has a big influence on every way you lead. Yeah,
loyalty, creating loyalty in a business is maybe more important than it's ever been, because it's not like a bedrock thing. I don't think current employees, it's not assumed that they would want to stay just out of loyalty. You have to kind of earn that.
Absolutely.
So that's really, I think that's a valuable quality, and certainly That's a good time to kind of introduce what we'll be talking about in the next video. But before we do that, I just kind of want to talk about why loyalty is important for him right now, which is, John has a Focal Point coaching business, and he works with executives and business owners and all that. And those people, it's really important for them to create loyalty with their customers. So that's why we touched on it, is because that is super essential. So John, if someone wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
Probably through my phone number is 502-724-0430. My email address is jjennings@focalpointcoaching.com. And of course, I'm on LinkedIn and all the other social media platforms.
Perfect. Well, thank you for sharing that, John. And second video coming up is, again, we're going to talk a little bit about maybe an interesting job that John had that you wouldn't be aware of right during college. And then we're going to touch about his corporate experience. So look forward to that next video the following Tuesday. Yeah. And you guys get to learn a little bit more about John. So thanks everybody for tuning in.
Great.
All right, you all take care. Bye.
Bye.